Looking back on it now, I realize everything was in darkness. And there was a path underneath all that dirt. I just needed to sweep it off. Before going to Fountain Springs Church, I found myself making decisions that probably weren't the right decisions. I found myself, whether I was in a manner of being short-tempered or in a manner of being not depressed but desperate for answers. It didn't work out great. It didn't, long story short, it didn't work out. When I was young, I had, my parents to do everything for me, so I was, I basically just kind of went off their guidance and all that whatnot. When I became of age and started having my own children, I kind of always felt like, even though I was supposed to be the one taking the reins, that I just wasn't in complete control. I felt a lot of times that I needed either I needed some other guidance, or I felt a lot of times that, I might not be making the right decisions. I know there are many times that I didn't make the right decision, and I thought I could do it all myself. I was asking myself for guidance, and I was asking myself, what the right thing to do was. I'd come to realize that I was talking to God, that I was reaching out to God, and, that essentially I always felt, and I feel like now, that He never gave up on me, that He was always there, obviously. I don't know what happened. I cannot tell you what clicked, but I can tell you that on February 24th, 2019, I woke up, I got my 2-year-old dressed, I told my son and his cousin to get dressed, and I said, we're going to church. We'd never been, obviously. I'd never been, and because of how I was raised, I didn't bring my son to church. So we went, and I can tell you that the day that I went, for one, from the guy that was sitting there with the orange tipped flashlight telling me where to park, to the people holding the door, to the people that were working with the kids, to the ushers, all the way to the pastor who I'm sure wrote that sermon for me that day, I had never felt more welcome. Not even with my family who I love at Thanksgiving. I felt so welcome there. The way that the pastor spoke during that time, I was wondering why everyone else was there, since he'd written that, that service just for me. So. It was alive and it was warm. I feel like the one reason we all feel so close to each story is because we can relate. And just being able to talk to him, when I'm having a breakdown, I get so much peace in just asking him for that peace. I really suffered from anger, and it caused a lot of waves in my life. And so being able to turn everything over to God and being able to not have the worry, that's a good thing. So I was able to, let go and let God.